Do you think the market needs the Fed to cut interest rates to rally even further?
The current interest level is a little bit high, so I think it has to be lower than it is now for stock market to see a rising trend in the face of the economic slowdown like this. Maybe the fourth quarter or maybe the first quarter of next year.
Is that the reason why you're more in favor of fixed income at this point? So would you say fixed income over equity markets is your favorite asset class right now?
Yes, I think equity market, I think the possibility of the sharp drop of the prices of risky assets is very limited, and the fixed income interest rate is a little bit higher, and if the interest rate don't fall significantly, the current interest level is very attractive.
Are you looking outside traditional assets like stock and bond markets? Where would you, what exposure would you increase?
I think the expansion of the alternative market would be very helpful. At the end of 2021, the alternative investment ratio of KIC is 17.5, but we increased 5% of portfolio alternative investment. And if we look at the returns of the traditional assets, it is 17.5, but maybe 23% maybe.
Of the total funds assets?
Yeah.
And what's the target?
At the end of the last year, 22.8.
Okay.
But now 23%. Our target is to 25% by 2025.
I know part of your strategy within alternatives is private debt and private credit. How much are you looking to invest in private credit?
Private credit is one of the most promising sector under these circumstances. Actually, our portion is around 10% of our alternative investment. Actually, we are trying to increase maybe 15% or above 15%.
What type of yields are available for people who are looking at private credit? I know you're actively looking to increase. What's available right now?
We are direct lending mainly. Okay. Yeah. I think when we are lending directly to blue chip companies with high cash flow would be very attractive.
Are there any specific industries or sectors that you're looking to be active in when it comes to private credits? Or geographies or countries or territories? What's the most interesting part to you right now of private credit?
Actually, there is no specific reason for private credit. Generally, the alternative investment, the advanced countries like the US and the Europe is the preferred country. It's because there are a lot of deal sourcing opportunities and leading GPs.
I guess a lot of people now might be wondering, you're going quite relatively big on alternatives. So within alternatives themselves, you mentioned 10 to 15% of that would be private debt. If you could talk about the other 85% of alternatives, how do you want to organize that part of your asset allocation?
Maybe 50% maybe private equity, and real estate and infrastructure maybe and hedge fund and the private debt is the 10 to 15%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 25% of total assets are in alternatives. If you
23%.
23%. The target is 25%.
Yeah.
By 2025?
By 2025.
If you could increase that further, would you? Or is that the current maximum that you can go, for example?
We have some limitations from the Ministry of Finance. They are our one of main sponsors. They have some guidance. So I think in order to increase the rate of alternative investment, we need to discussion with them about this.
I know this is more longer term, but would you see a need in the future to have those discussions?
I think as an investor, asset investor, we need to increase the proportion of alternative investment, 30%, 40%. Maybe CPPIB is over 50%. But we are also the keeper of the foreign exchange.
Right.
So we have to maintain our liquidity. So I think maybe 25% may be appropriate for the time being.